Welcome to, we don't know what the hell this is called yet, but we're here.
Hello, girlfriend.
Hello, we have Bennett in the house with us.
Woo.
From the Curl House. And we are super excited to talk to you guys about our salon etiquette. And so we're going to talk to Bennett about how Bennett made it to the Curl House and talk to you guys about salon etiquette and what to expect during your first time experience at the Curl House.
Hello, friends. So last summer, and I actually had several weeks where we talked about what etiquette is, what it means, where it came from, and that's a fun deep dive on, Google if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But I don't actually like calling it etiquette. I think today, more so for us, we are a very come-as-you-are salon, and so we don't want you to feel like you have to be or act a certain way while you're here. And so I think more so today, it would be better to call it how to be comfortable during your consultation and how to communicate with your stylist what your needs are and your expectations are for your time in salon.
Okay.
We're rolling, Bill. We just doing the damn thing.
Yeah, I love it.
Did you need to get dressed up too?
I did, well, so Bennett certainly got the memo and looks fantastic. So if you guys that are listening, go check out our YouTube and check out Bennett's fantastic outfit. So I feel like I had to up my game here.
So Ash messaged me and was making sure I was ready for the pod today, and for some reason I was like, get cute for the platform that's mostly just listen to.
We're live for YouTube, and
we're going on YouTube for sure?
For sure. Yeah.
I love that. So then, I guess head to YouTube. You'll get to see my cute fit. I wore a studded little crystal encrusted blazer because I have a whole drawer of work clothes that I refuse to wear to work because I don't want to ruin them with lightener. I'm way too messy for that. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to work today. I'm going to work today cute.
Well, you look fabulous.
You also look fabulous.
Thank
now.
you. I feel great right now. I feel like I fit in now.
Yeah, it's giving luxury. It's giving boho.
Yeah, very silk. Okay, so I want to circle back to what to bring to your first appointment.
Okay. So for me, I guess the reason you're asking that, for listeners who don't know me, I actually started out at the salon as a guest. I am a military spouse transplant. I ended up in Oklahoma very begrudgingly, honestly. And I was just looking for a place to get my hair done. And I ended up here, and it was through my experience here that I ended up working here. So what did I bring to my first appointment? Nothing but a whole bunch of anxiety, honestly. Sure. I'd had a lot of hair trauma. For those of you online watching, you can see my curls. For those of you who are listening, I have very curly hair. And I was growing back a shaved head at the time. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to ask for. So what did I bring to my first appointment? A bunch of anxiety. What should you bring? Hope. And probably something to snack on, because blow drying takes a little bit of time, especially when you got a lot of hair. Bring a good book. If you're here for hair color, we have guests that do whole Zoom calls. So if you work from home, feel comfortable to do that with us too.
Yes, we do have Wi-Fi in the salon.
Mm-hmm.
At least one of us know the guest password, and it changes frequently depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
But if you try that guest password, you're gonna, at least out of probably the 5 different times, you're gonna get it right.
Eventually, you'll be allowed to do some online work here.
Yeah. Something that I don't want you to bring to the appointment is the idea of, hey, do what you want.
Oh, yeah, no. So I hear that a lot. I hear, well, what would you do? Or I trust you completely. And every time I hear that, I am completely thrown. I love that you believe in me as your professional. But I've had people tell me, what do you want to do to my hair? And they left with a hot pink mullet that day. But that's because it aligned with who they are. But I have a lot of guests that will say, well, what would you do to my hair? And that's when I know that it's time to reverse plan with them. It's a little bit too open-ended of a question or of a statement. Just because I'm a professional, this is our first time meeting. Ashley and I joke a lot saying, well, it's the first date, so we got to get to know each other. And so I will actually start reverse planning and name stuff that I'm fairly certain you don't want. Most of my guests on our first time together, our first visit, our first date, our first appointment, they want something that is easy to do at home. They want a style they can replicate. They want their hair to feel healthy, and they want it to feel easy. And that is what I aim for. But I will start listing off things that I know they don't want. I'll ask them if they want fire engine red hair that day. Or I'll ask them if they'd like just the one side shaved. Because as much as you want to trust your professional, sometimes you also have to know when to advocate for yourself, so that way you don't end up with something you don't want. My first visit, I actually trusted you blindly. Like I had mentioned earlier.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
That puts a lot of anxiety on me. I always ask, please bring 3 pictures.
Mm-hmm.
3 pictures of something that you absolutely love, whether it's the haircut or the color. That way I know visually what I'm shooting for. And that makes the expectation easier for me. And then that also allows me to say, hey, this is going to work, or this is not going to work for you.
One of the best things you ever taught me, because I mentored with Ashley for a year, one of the best things you ever taught me was pick that picture, pick the inspiration photos apart with them. Because there have been times where we found out that the person didn't like the haircut at all. They just liked that girl's makeup. That girl was just pretty. But, look at, do these curls, do these curls look like mine? Is this a color that's realistically achievable on my hair? And the big one, and I'm going to say this, y'all, is it a wig? Because sometimes y'all gotta get checked on, is it a wig?
I think the other big misconception, especially when it comes to color, is a lot of people will bring in an inspiration photo of somebody that has straight hair.
Oh my gosh,
if you have curly hair, the light just does not move through your hair like it does straight hair. So the expectation of your hair looking like that photo that has straight hair, it's like it's a night and day difference. So my advice to you as a curly girl who's coming in for color, please pick a photo that looks like your texture. That way we can get an idea and an expectation of what the color is going to look like in your hair. Because the thing is we can put a color on your hair and it looks completely different if it's blown out and straight as to what it's going to look like curly. So it's completely different coloring techniques. Things have to be handled and addressed differently. So as a guest coming into the Curl House and you have curly hair and you're getting color, we ask that you please come in with photos that look like your hair and don't bring us a straight-haired photo.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big one.
That just is setting you up for failure.
Absolutely.
And I think that one of the big misconceptions about the Curl House, I just took a phone call earlier and they were wanting to know if we took guests that have straight hair. We do all textures of hair here. We do specialize in curly hair. We spend a lot of time and a lot of focus and a lot of money into that skill set and that expertise. But we do all textures of hair here, so you don't have to have curly hair to come to the Curl House.
We don't even just do curly women. We do curly men.
Yeah.
We offer barbering services. Some of my favorite guests are like curly long-haired men, because curls are not limited to one gender, and like that is kind of one of the most beautiful things as I'm building out my clientele this last year, is that I probably have a 2/3, 1/3 split of curly guys now.
Yes.
And I think it's great because we want you to have a hair home no matter where you're at. Oh, we're not just a hair home, we're a hair house.
A hair house. All right, Bennett. Well, I'm a little thirsty, so I think we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome.
We just had a V8 Sparkling Energy brought to you by the Walmart delivery here in Lawton, Oklahoma.
I had a water via the fridge here.
Well, that's probably a better choice, but I have to have my caffeine.
Oh, yeah. So, welcome back. We're going to keep things rolling. We're going to keep things moving, but I just wanted to recap because that was a whole lot of chit-chatting. It's a lot. I tell people this all the time. It's a lot of information, so I'm going to recap it with you. What to bring to your appointment. Hope, because that's what we're here for. We're highly educated. We are a passion project. We want to help you because we've been you. Inspiration photos. because we want to know what it is that you want to see about yourself. And realistic expectations, because we've been accused of being hair wizards, and that's just not true. We just work with you to get what works best for you.
I don't want to be the hair wizard either.
I think it's a fun name.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of
A
pressure,
lot
but
of
it's
pressure.
fun. I like the idea of being called a wizard.
You know, Bennett, I want to also touch on our cancellation policy because I think we're really misunderstood sometimes for that.
Yeah, we've received some friction for it, but I also think it is something important to have. I tell you all the time that I'm very spoiled because this is the only salon I've been in, and it came built in for me. The cancellation policy is not there to punish you for missing your appointment. It is to prevent a no-show in the first place. You know, we block off that time for you. We love spending that time with you. It's not just about coming and get your hair done. We love being with who y'all are as people. And so it's not something that we take joy in, having to charge the cancellation fee. It's to protect our time. It's to help mitigate the costs in the salon. When y'all show up, you know, we get a paycheck. And when y'all don't show up, we still have kids that need their dance classes paid for. We still have school lunches to pay for. We still have tires need put on our car.
Time is money.
Absolutely.
Time is money in our industry, and that cancellation fee is there to help protect our staff members, but also our guests. If that time's blocked out and you didn't show up, that's not only I don't want to say disrespect. Is that the word?
I wouldn't say it's disrespect at all. I mean, it doesn't feel good for us. I think because we like to give our all to our guests, we take it personally. It feels
right
like it. But it also then stops someone else who's on our wait lists. You know, anybody who's tried to book with Ashley, myself, Rissa, you know, we have a wait list. And so it's hard because it gets in the way of those who are also needing that same type of help.
Right.
It's not, you know, that's why I said it's not there to punish you at all. It's just there to compensate our time, our efforts, and then
allow other guests to get in. That's really what I was trying to say. It's there to help. I'm drawing a blank here. It's there to help other guests be able to pick up appointments because the canceled appointment has been canceled in the appropriate amount of time.
Mhm.
And allow somebody else to pick that appointment up that needs that type of help. So just wanted to go over that. Like I said, I feel like we're misunderstood sometimes. We're not here to punish you. We're just here to have accountability for ourselves and allow other guests to be able to schedule those appointments because they're available because they've either been canceled in the appropriate amount of time or they're just available.
Hey,
So-
briefly tell the policy. Like you haven't said the policy
Oh, I haven't
itself.
said the policy.
You just are talking about it. Yeah. So I would just say, okay, so this is the policy.
Okay. So our policy states, and it's on our website, it's going to be on the booking link when you book, but we ask that if you're going to cancel or reschedule your appointment, that it's done within 72 hours of that scheduled appointment time, or there's a $45 cancellation fee per service.
So by per service, we mean if you're coming in for a haircut, that would be one $45 charge. If you're coming in for a cut and a color, that would be $45 for each one because it takes more time. There's product that we've prepared for you, but we don't just do hair here. So with waxing services, it's a little bit different. For example,
It's up to $45.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you've
up
got
to
an eyebrow
$45.
wax, we're going to charge the whole, eyebrow wax, but it's going to be up to $45. So if you've got a facial that you have scheduled, it's going to be $45. That service is $91, I believe.
I believe so,
Yeah.
yes.
So just blocks out a lot more time. One appointment could take 4 or 5 hours, and we have to compensate for that. So on to the fun stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Cancellation policies are not fun, but I did want to touch on that. So on
Well-
to the fun stuff. I am really excited to introduce to you guys Bennett. If you haven't met Bennett yet, I feel like we need like a cool boxing ring. You know how they have like the introduction? What would be your introduction song?
What would be, oh.
Yeah, like if...
I always joke that it would be Goodbye Horses.
What is that? I don't even know that.
Oh,
Sing it.
Oh, no, it's the Buffalo Bill song.
Sing it.
Where there's no words. He's just dancing around to the music.
Oh,
in a
how's it
row.
go? Like, give me a beat.
Do. It's all like techno-y stuff.
Okay, now I have to go listen
no.
up.
What would it be right now?
Yeah, like right now. If
Probably
you were,
Shake It Out by Florence and the Machine.
okay.
Hands down, one of my favorites. One of my favorite bands, one of my favorite songs. Just kind of reminds you that, like, even when you're going through the hard stuff, you can just dance it out. You can keep moving through it. You can roll with the punches. And I think that's pretty parallel for a lot of my life. So that would be my walkout song.
So, Bennett, what made you want to become a stylist?
Lots of things. I think it was a good old pair of kindergarten scissors. I'm so used to saying shears. It was a good old pair of kindergarten scissors and a Barbie who needed some bangs.
That's where mine started too.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
Barbie.
All my
Even Barbie haircuts.
All my Barbies had A-line bobs. Every single one of them. They had no choice.
Mine has pixies, very uneven pixies.
Oh, so it was giving Weird Barbie,
Yeah.
like from the movie.
Yeah.
No, all of my Barbies had A-line bobs when I was little. My aunt, who used to babysit me a lot, always had these like gorgeous blonde blowouts, which was very different from my own hair. And so that was just the epitome of glamour to me. And so it was a combination of her and Barbie. Funny enough, her name is also Barbara. She didn't go by Barbie when I was little. She went by Bobby, but still. It started with that. It started with just, that gorgeous, blown out, windswept look and the desire to see a change in others. And then as I got older, I kind of moved away from it. I wanted something in the medical field, and then it just didn't feel like a good fit for me.
So fun fact, can I get a cue? Clap and cue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fun fact, Bennett wants to fill in the blank. What am I thinking right now?
Bennett wants to, I don't know. Bennett wants to have a coffee. What, is that what you're thinking?
No.
That's true. What?
Bennett wants to, in 20 years.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm going to open a funeral home. I'm going to open a funeral home. That is my long-term goal. When I am all done with hair, I would like to continue taking care of people. In that I can't even say the final stage of life, just in their final time on this earth. I want to shift into helping take care of their families, helping take care of them, preparing them for their last time being viewed on this earth.
And I feel like you said that there was a certain type of way that you wanted to do that.
There is. Okay, so I fully intend to go and become a funeral director, learn how to become a mortician, because I believe that viewing helps give the family left behind on earth closure. But I actually want to work with Recompose Earth. They are a company that is right now getting legislation running all across America. I believe there are 8 states right now that actually allow it to happen, but your body's recomposed. So a lot of people always hear about, I want to be replanted as a tree with cremation. What happens there is that all of the useful carbon that could fuel that tree is actually burned up during the cremation process. And so you don't actually fuel that tree, you kind of just live under there as rocks. The Recompose Earth team works really hard to actually turn your remains into a really nutrient-dense soil, so that way your loved ones can actually take home. They have these little burlap sacks that you can hold during the service. It's really beautiful. That you can take home, you can plant in your garden. They can spread your dirt somewhere that is special to you. There's only a couple states that allow it. Oklahoma's not one of them. But pretty soon I'm actually going to work with Recompose Life to get that legislation rolling here, so that way my dream of having it here can work.
I was going to ask, will you be doing hair in the funeral home? But that won't be the case because it'll be cremated, correct?
So they're not cremated. Your body actually gets placed in a specific mixture of like wood chips, alfalfa, and all of that. So nothing is burned at all. You just very gently decompose and go back to being soil.
Do they put you in a box? I mean, how does what
Yeah,
does this look like?
absolutely. So there's, one of my favorite things about it is there's like a hexagonal container that you get put into. They have a beautiful wall where you stay. I believe the process is like 6 to 9 weeks, depending on the person, and how long it takes to break down. And then your earth is redone. Your earth is distributed.
So you can walk by and see multiple bodies in these boxes.
You don't
on
see
this wall.
You don't see in them. No, it's a big white wall. I'll walk you through the video sometime.
Oh no,
No,
not for me. No.
You don't actually see anything. The same way that people are put in mausoleums. It's a nice big stone wall.
So it's
Very
not like
similar.
clear boxes.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
no.
visualizing this body in the middle of this clear box with wood chips.
Oh no,
and
ma'am, it
cow
is not like
shit
Snow White. Oh my gosh,
in the
no.
middle of this
no.
box.
No, poop's actually not a part of the process.
Okay.
And like whatever's left inside of you, I'm sure. But no.
That scares me. Bennett, who does your hair?
Who does my hair?
Yes.
Me, you, and my 5-year-old daughter. So as you guys heard me touch on earlier in the episode, I actually started out as a guest here. I was a military transplant. I was growing back a shaved head. Shout out a whole nother episode that's going to happen where we talk about embarrassing things we do in cosmetology school. But I was getting that kind of mullet tail that happens in the back when you have a pixie cut. Mm-hmm. And it was time for it to go, which is very ironic now, considering my haircut is in fact a mullet now. But I left that day with a very cute little curly bob. It was giving like Whitney Houston. And I needed curl help. I had had one curl cut previously, but I didn't retain the information. I didn't take it that seriously. And then I had my daughter, who was born with a head full of curl. And I was like, oh no, she's not struggling the same way I struggled. That's not going to happen. So when I went to hair school, I really focused on learning curls. I was very disenchanted when I got to hair school because I learned that it's mostly just to pass a test. And then I ended up here as a military transplant. I was prepared to go to Oklahoma City. I was prepared to go to Dallas. And I just looked up Oklahoma Curl Specialist, which is your Instagram handle. And that was the first thing that popped up. It said Lawton, Oklahoma, and I was like, there's no way. There's no way this is 7 minutes from my front door.
Bennett's being punked.
I thought I was. And then I drove up, and I was like, this is someone's, like, house. Like, it's called Curl House. I really thought this was about to be your house, and you were going to have, like, a little studio in, like, the front room or something. Mm-hmm. And I walked in, and it was a whole salon. And it wasn't just a salon. It wasn't just, like, rows of chairs. You know, I was prepared for it to be kind of those, like, chain salons that I won't name here. But it wasn't. It was a very intimate, beautiful setting. It was very clean. It was I don't want to say granola because I feel like there's a lot of stigma attached to it, but it was very holistic. It was very organic and natural. And I just fell in love with it. And so, who does my hair? You, mostly, because I don't trust anybody else to do it at this point. I'm familiar with so many other curl specialists now because we're a small community. But you.
Bennett, what would you say to somebody that's going to hair school looking into becoming a cosmetologist? What would be your advice to them?
Oh my gosh. Get through school. Be okay with the fact that you are only learning the basics. Be okay with the fact that you are getting to pass that test. And then go find a mentor. Go find a mentor. Because being in the salon, getting behind the chair, you think you know all these things from school. You don't. No matter how much extra education you did in school, no matter what you thought you knew, it is the Wild West out here. So if you found somebody that is not their first rodeo, then you have somebody who can show you the ropes. I absolutely needed that mentor. I still need that mentor. I literally asked that mentor this morning, like, should we come cute to the podcast? Because it's important to have somebody to help you navigate it. You don't have to do it alone. And it's not about, being someone's, lackey. Because there's that trade-off there. You absolutely get, an invaluable education to set you up for success behind the chair. And if you don't have a good mentor right now, it is okay to leave and go find a new one.
And find you somebody that helps. I mean, I have mentors.
Yeah.
So
find a mentor that is willing to be mentored continuously, because you should never stop wanting to grow. You should never stop learning. Absolutely.
You know, I always like to tell people that are going into cosmetology or thinking about it, go shadow a salon. Our doors are open here. So if you think that, hey, this is a career that I may want to be in, call us and say, hey guys, can I come hang out for a day? Come check out and see what it's all about, because you may find out that it's not what you really want to do, and you've saved your time and you've saved your money, and you know, you can go on about your day and realize that really wasn't for me. Or you may walk in here and think, wow, this is super cool, really amazing, and this is exactly what I want to do. Let me get enrolled in school now, instead of sitting there wondering or thinking, hey, is this maybe what I want to do? So our doors are open. We love for guests to come in here. I'm really passionate about shadowing. I'm real big and passionate on people shadowing. Come see us. You can email us, curlhouse@gmail.com. Give us a phone call. Reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram. We'd love to have you in here if you think it's something that you might want to do. I mean, what do you lose? The day? I'd rather lose the day than a bunch of money and find out.
Most of the time we'll feed you, so it's not even a total loss.
Yeah.
So guys, we're going to get things wrapped up, but I just wanted to touch on next episode where Rissa and I are going to flip the script, and now it's Ashley's turn to be interviewed. You know, you hear Ashley and she's our fearless leader, but who is she? How did she start the Curl House? Why is this happening? You know, she's interviewing us, but why should you listen to her?
I'm going to need y'all to send me all the questions. 3.
Absolutely not.
Pre-pod,
You
okay?
think I'm writing these questions? I'm going to make them up on the fly.
I'm not good on the fly. I need a minute to think about that kind of stuff.
I'm also not good on the fly, so you can get some really interesting questions.
I
Like, what'd
am-
you have for dinner last night?
I'm a Capricorn, so mine needs to be structured.
Not me. I'm an
Bill, I'm
Aries.
requesting structure.
Sorry, Bill. No structure happened. It's my turn to run the pod. No structure.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. Glad that y'all took time to hang out with us. And we're excited to have Bennett here. And
I'm excited to have y'all here. Come visit us. Come see us. You can book online. Oh, okay. Before we leave, those key points again. What to bring with you, because you can book all day. But the big takeaway is come with hope.
Inspiration photos.
Inspiration photos. Come with a snack. Come with a snack you want to share with me.
Cancel your appointment within the appropriate amount of time.
Yeah.
And if you're 85 and think that you want to do hair, guys, it's never too late to start something new.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Our doors are open to you. Oh,
Yeah.
we'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you.
You guys have a great week, and we'll be back next week with my feet held to the fire, I guess.